What's up, folks? Today I'm going to do another install, and you probably saw in a previous video where I installed the Advanblack Lower Fairings. Well, Advanblack actually saw that video and reached out to me and wanted to see if I would be interested in the switchback LED lights for the lower fairings, and I'm like, hell yeah, I would be. So they sent them to me. So I want to give a big shout out to Advanblack. I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and see what came in the box and we'll get it installed. So here you have the switchback flare lower fairing LED lights. Here's your left, here's your right. And if you're concerned about knowing which one, you'll see that there's an L there. Turn it around. And the other one will have an R for right. Then what else comes with it is you have this harness, which this will plug into your turn signal wiring. So it acts as a splitter. So then you can connect these two together. And then obviously you got your zip ties for your cable management. And then you have instructions. Instructions look really good. Nice pictures. Even tells you how to take off the shark nose fairing and the batwing fairing. So they did a really good job with the instructions. I'm actually very impressed with those. But this should only take about 30 minutes to install. So let's go ahead and get to it. So first, want to remove this faceplate. It's just a little plastic covering, and I have a little wedge tool. You could probably use a flathead screwdriver, but you got to be careful not to scratch anything. So we'll go ahead and get that removed. It just snaps right off. As you can see, there's these little tabs right here, and then there's slots where those tabs went. That's exactly how the LED lights, the switchback LED lights, are going to get installed. So on this side of the lower fairing, you have two bolts here, keeping another cover in place. These are 4mm Allen, so I'm going to take that off real quick. So now I'm going to install the switchback lower fairing LED. And again, before I told you, this is the left side. If you're sitting on the bike, it'll go like so. First, we need to send the braided wire. There's a hole right here. I don't know if you can see that right there. I'll send it through. Again, you got tabs like the previous face plate, and that's going to go in here. That should just snap in place. All right, so now the next step is we have to remove the turn signals. So I've already broke these acorn nuts, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this off real quick. And I just pinched this little tab here, which released it. And as I showed you before, here's the wiring harness. We're just going to plug this in, just with the little tab there. Hear it snap. And this will plug into the turn signal once we're ready to install that again. But before we do this, what I did previously is remove the main fuse. I'm going to add it back, and I just want to test the lights and make sure they're working. So I'll plug this in here. And as you can see, she is on, and I can tell you right now it's bright. Let me test the turn signal real quick. Okay, now we're gonna plug the turn signal back in. We'll be able to tuck this back in, and then we can plug in the light after it, since we know it's working. So this will go here. Hear the snap. And you're gonna push this back in here. These acorn nuts are 15 to 20 foot-pounds. I'm just gonna snug them right now and I'll torque them later. All right, so next I need to take off the fairing so we can adjust the cable management and tuck in anything into the fairing. So you got 2 bolts on each side, and then you got the 3 up on the windshield here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. As you can see, these bolts are of different size. You got the longer bolt on top, the shorter one on bottom. So I already put the back plate on, and I put a little bit of blue Loctite on the bolts just in case. And what I'm going to do is end up routing the cable underneath and then come up with it. And then, as you can see, zip tie it to the frame, and then eventually up to the crash bar back in here, and then up through there into the fairing. As I mentioned before, you have to take the 3 bolts off. I have taken the 2 off the side. Now I just have this one in the middle that I will just loosen, and then I can pull my windshield out, and I also have bags. So as you can see, I went ahead and got the windshield off and the bags. And you just need to lean it forward, excuse me. And I have a lot going on here, so I need to do some unplugging. All right, so you're gonna have to take any excess cable and go ahead and use a zip tie on it. And you want to leave yourself some room. And tuck it back in here.